What's up, Game Boys and Girls? Big T here, back with another video, and we're doing a similar video to the last video, but this time it's on the other side. Last time it was about Xbox gamers being upset about the delays for Starfield and Redfall, and so go check that video out if you haven't seen it. Now this time it's the PlayStation fanboys who are upset about the recent Sony State of Play. Now, Sony did a smart thing, basically trying to kind of quell people's expectations of the event by saying it's gonna mostly focus. Basically, they said it mostly focuses on PlayStation VR 2, and that's pretty true. But there were some big announcements outside of that. If you haven't heard, I'm sure you have, but let's go over that. So, I don't know if you guys know, but I am a major PlayStation VR fan. Here is my PSVR headset here. I love VR. I love PlayStation VR. I'm making a disastrous mess here. But yes, I'm a big fan of PlayStation VR. So, VR in general, but I mean, I really haven't touched anything outside of PSVR. Because it's the most convenient way. I don't have to have like a super rig or anything like that, gaming rig to use it. And or while it's not top of the line, it's still pretty good VR. So I'll show you some games that I'm into on the VR, PlayStation VR kind of scene, if you will. But yeah, so I'm a big fan. So I was where other maybe Sony fans kind of expectations went down for the event. Mine actually went up because I was like, all right, I'm excited for the next evolution of PSVR. While the fidelity is pretty good, you know, they have that screen dooring effect. And I was looking forward to seeing, you know, VR on a console that looked a little better. I was excited to see that. And there wasn't much excitement in the way of new games and new offerings. It's mostly we're bringing VR to like Resident Evil 8, stuff like that. I can't really think of anything that was like a new VR experience or a new announcement for VR experience. We had heard about like Call of the Mountain for Horizon, I think. So that was already known. So nothing too crazy about VR, but I know I'm happy to see that it's continuing. I'm happy to just even play my current VR games on the next iteration, the PSVR 2. There's some games that I haven't gotten to yet that I'm looking forward to. I have Doom VFR. I'm trying to show this where it doesn't glare. Doom VFR. This is completely in VR. It's Doom 2016 in VR. No Man's Sky has a VR mode. A lot of people don't even know. No Man's Sky has improved much since its beginning. There's also Psychonauts Into the Rhombus of Ruin, which I'm a huge Psychonauts fan. Love Psychonauts 1 and Psychonauts 2. And that's a completely VR game. I think it's only on... It might be on PC. I don't know. Ace Combat has a VR mode included. And I got to back it up a little bit. You can see it there. I haven't gotten to that yet. Still sealed. And the biggest one, I think, is Concrete Jungle of the games I haven't gotten to yet. That I'm anticipating. But I also have... I'm all in on VR. So VR for me is like... When I see a VR mode, it's like when I see special features for a Blu-ray or DVD, right? Like I look for it now. Here's a 6-game. I can't remember if this is demos or not. No, these are full games, and they're smaller games. There's a 6-game pack there. Firewall is more of like a console experience, kind of the experience that fans have been looking for when it comes to VR, where it's more like of a console game and not just kind of a gimmicky type of thing. But there's more games other than Firewall. Firewall is like it's actually multiplayer online. Iron Man, I actually haven't played this yet. I'm looking forward to playing that. Another game I haven't played, Vader Immortal. It's Star Wars and it's Vader, and it looked very interesting. Graphics are really nice. But here's another game that is a kind of console experience, and it's hard to see. It's called Farpoint, And this is fantastic. This is one of my favorite VR games. It is a console experience, first person view. You're on this planet trying to figure out what's going on. You're battling like these bug creatures. There's a huge bug creature that reminded me of like the fight in Mandalorian with that sandworm thing. It is awesome. The scope and scale of this, it feels like you're really there on the planet. Here's another one of my favorite experiences is Star Wars. This is a VR mode in Squadrons. This is the way to play Squadrons. This is a first-person cockpit view only game, which a lot of people griped about. But if you play this in VR, fantastic. Feels like I'm in the cockpit. It is really cool. Star Wars Squadrons, very good game, especially in VR. And here's one of the better console platforming games, probably the best one, Astrobot. Rescue Mission. This is the wow factor I got from this was similar to when I first played Mario 64. No lie, like it was just like holy crap, this is new technology. This is a new thing, and playing a platformer in VR that is this good gave me that same feeling of Mario 64 or similar. Fantastic, and probably my favorite game on PlayStation VR or VR in general is Moss. This game is fantastic. It is a storybook where you play this mouse kind of adventurer, and it's like narrated, and it's just it's like you're going along in a story, and to the point where you're turning pages. Like you used the VR controls to turn pages between levels as you're going through, and it's explaining the story, and it is really good. This is my favorite VR experience, and part 2 is actually out now, or book 2 I think they call it, which is a nice play on it, but really good. So yeah, I again, state of play. There were some pretty cool announcements there. Obviously, there was Street Fighter 6 announced. I'm not as into Street Fighter as I used to be, but it was very cool to see. It looks like there's some kind of not first person, but there's some kind of like third person adventure mode where you're kind of walking around a semi-open world, like city streets. Look pretty cool. And there was other cool announcements like Callisto, I think Callisto Project or something like that. Looked really good. And they also announced a big game again, Final Fantasy 16, which is exclusive as far as we know. Don't know how long or if it's permanent, but that was a big announcement. But the announcement that got a lot of PlayStation gamers, I don't want to say gamer, I think it's mostly on the fanboy side, the ponies, if you will, because I did call the Xbox gamers Xbots, so I got to be fair. The announcement of Spider-Man Remastered and Spider-Man Miles Morales coming to PC was just really, I saw meltdowns, like, because there was a lot of PlayStation fans live streaming, and some people I watch or listen to podcast wise or video wise on YouTube do compilations when things like this happen. So they compile a bunch of different Sony fans or Xbox fans or Nintendo fans into a video and just kind of show their meltdowns and all this kind of stuff. And Sony fanboys were melting down about Spider-Man coming to PC. And I see this with all the fan bases, like the denial, the regret. You know, they go through all the stages pretty much, and then they get to acceptance at some point. Xbox fans, I think, have reached acceptance. Because in the beginning, when their stuff was going to PC too, there was a meltdown from a specific YouTuber about Quantum Break going to PC. He famously melted down about that. I think even Phil Spencer replied to him. And he melted down so much he became like a Sony fanboy. Like, I just don't understand, like, the factions and joining the factions and pitchforking for your faction. Because at some point, you're going to take an L. And it's extremely weird when it's like grown men like it's one thing when we were younger, we used to jostle it up about our consoles. Like when we were in middle school and high school, it was NES versus Master System. That really wasn't a battle, but it was more Sega Genesis versus Super Nintendo. That was a battle, and PlayStation versus N64. That was a better battle than NES versus. But it was still wasn't really that close at least as far as sales. I think N64 still had a lot of fanfare. A lot of people loved the console, clearly. But PlayStation kind of, it obviously wrecked shop that generation as well. So it's okay for young people, young kids to young adults. But to see 30-year-old plus men just joining these factions and making, putting up these walls and this, my company better not go beyond this kind of thing. When it comes to them serving you as a consumer, that's different. But when it comes to you feeling a certain way about how they're handling the competition, oh, they better not give games to the competition, or they better not give exclusives away to PC. It's strange. I never understood that. I don't understand that when it comes to sports. I'm not like that. Like, I love my teams, but to be ready to where you're ready to brawl over a team owned by some billionaires, played and with a bunch of millionaires that play for it, like, who don't know or care about you. It's weird. That's tribalism that I will never understand. That gang mentality I would never get. And a lot of gamers have that as well. And they're, like I said, grown men, functioning grown men who have wives and children, just losing their crap over this stuff. And it's very strange to me. So I'm excited about it. Because it's like one of my favorite things. Let me see if I can reach this without knocking over too much stuff here. Is my new favorite console. And yes, it's a PC, I get it, but it's also a console, is the Steam Deck. And this has become, in many ways, my portable Xbox, but it's also like my portable nostalgia box, because I can do all the emulation. I haven't really gotten around to it yet, but I'm in the beginning stages of setting that up. It's not that hard, it's just that gathering the games takes time. But so now this is going to become a portable PlayStation. This is going to do miles beyond what the Vita was trying to do. And God bless the Vita for, fighting that good fight. But ultimately it lost that fight. But now I have a portable nostalgia box, a portable Xbox because of cloud streaming, xCloud, and now a portable PlayStation box that I can take anywhere because first-party games are coming to, Steam, PC. And so I can just download those games and play them on the go. And, I'm not going to buy them full price. I'll wait, for a sale and whatnot because a lot of these games I already own. So for me to, rebuy games full price, that's not a cool thing. I don't like doing that for Nintendo, and I haven't done it. For Nintendo, for the Switch. That's one of my biggest problems with the Switch is that Nintendo acts like the Wii U never existed. And so I'm not going to do that for third parties either. So like I said, I'll wait for a sale. But that is a very cool thing to me, to be able to take my full-on console games with me everywhere with my Steam Deck. That was one of the things I was excited about. To some degree with Switch, but obviously Switch doesn't get all the games that I would like it to get, and then sometimes when it gets those games, they're not in like the best, shape as far as how they perform, and resolution to some extent, but mostly how they perform. So now I'm getting that. This is like an amazing time to be a gamer, and to see people, wall themselves off and get off into these weird kind of corners and zones. It's strange. Like, why do that? Like, again, I understand younger people, jostling it up Xbox versus PlayStation versus Nintendo. Like, I get that because I was in that fight, but I was a young kid or early young man when I was in those fights. You grow up and you realize that stuff is silly for an adult to do. Understandable for young people, kids, but it's strange. And like I said, their fans are melting down. They were literally like, no, in their live streams. F Sony. Why do I need a PlayStation? Well, you know what? I have an Xbox Series X, and I play a lot of the games that Xbox gives me on PC, on Steam, or on xCloud. And I still have the console for when I want that big, on my big TV gaming session, and then I can take it with me. That's the appeal of the Switch for the most part. It's like I can, plop it down into my deck or my dock, play it on the big TV, take it out, go on the go with the same game. Well, now you can do that with all your consoles. I mean, if you own a Steam Deck or a laptop. Why is that bad? Why are people in these weird factions? I will never understand. I don't get it. But, the state of play was good. I thought it was decent, especially because they lowered expectations, which was, as like I said, a smart move for them to do. They lowered expectations, and I think that made it better. I think because people weren't expecting a whole lot. I got a good bit of what I wanted to hear. Although I'd like to still hear a price for PSVR and a release date. But I don't have a PlayStation 5 currently anyway. So, but that's what's going to push me to get a PlayStation 5. So, I don't get it. Like I said, I don't get why more people wouldn't be happy about this. I think more people are happy about it. I just think there's certain loud Sony fans that don't like this. But it's funny because it's the same thing the Xbox guys were going through. And I saw the 5 stages in live action in real time in some of these guys' live streams of the state of play. They went from to like, I understand, kind of, okay, it's good for the PC guys. Acceptance. And that's what happened with Xbox gamers. They didn't like it at first. Why do I need to buy an Xbox? And now they accept it. It's just part of they understand that it is a really cool thing to have this much variety of playing anywhere. And that's what I'm excited about, playing anywhere. All these consoles, playing them anywhere, because the older you get, the busier you get, it's harder to plop down like I am right now and play video games. Or if I'm editing a lot and then to go and play a video game, I don't want to still be in that same space, where I'm playing video games at my workstation, so that's my take. Like I said, I like the state of play. It's probably one of their best ones. I haven't seen them all, but a lot of people are saying this is their best state of play, so I'm just going to go with that. I thought it was a good state of play. It flowed well. Good announcements, surprise announcement with the VR modes, and some announcements from games we didn't know were coming, like Street Fighter 6 and I forgot to even mention Resident Evil 4 remake. People thought it was coming, but now we have confirmation, so that's cool. But yeah, overall a really good show. Fanboys bring things down as usual, but it is funny to laugh at the meltdowns. Like I said, I think Xbox guys are for the most part calmed down at this point. They're just kind of going with the flow. Sony guys are now where Xbox guys were 2015, 2016, where they're fighting against the future. This is the future. At some point, those Sony first-party games will be either very close or day and date on PC. It's going to happen. Accept it. Cope. It's going to happen. Get over it. Get over it now. Get past the pain. I know you want that ammunition to fight the console war, but You're gonna have to find new ammunition. Now you got to go to whose service is better, Game Pass or PlayStation Plus, whatever they call it. Game Pass easily wipes the floor with it right now, but if they start bringing day and date, it could be a better battle, and that's a good thing. Competition. But anyway, that's it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comments below. Thank you as always for watching, and now see you fools next time. Peace out.